sa brand here no coach better teams but only na ye ko fa no teams enya nko an wo coach right
yeah
yentio kakrai
okay
still on Queiroz.
Saba mami starting by saying that I think we waste, I won't say spend, we waste too much time discussing coaches. And that is why I'm saying that my view is very, very, very different from the rest of the world. I stress, coaches don't play football. Footballers play football. Jeff, make a point. Say, Redragi, the Moroccan coach. The Moroccan situation is a bit different. That is not to say to underestimate Redragi. But if you not check the North African countries, hardly do their players play outside their terrain. So they have cohesion, they have consistency, and Morocco in particular, led by the royal government, they pump so much money into it. Go and check. No country in Africa has pumped money into their football as much as the Moroccan nation over the years. So maybe the results have not been too surprising. I guess the reason, having even led Morocco to the semi-final of the last World Cup and having failed to win the last AFCON, they still somehow find means of parting with him. Summer, why do we make it seem in this country as though the football results are dependent on one person called a coach? There are too many factors that determine the outcome of a game. A coach is only one of those factors. And I've said over and over, the decisive factors are the players, the quality of material. Now, I'll give you an example. I've heard people already criticizing the choice of Queiroz, and I'm shocked to my marrow. Shocked because I've had examples of the fact that, if you check the statistics, he's won so many money, lost so many matches, the percentage is blah, 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 blah. Listen, he led Iran to the World Cup on 3 occasions. Iran is not a football nation. Iran is not a super football nation. When football connoisseurs and pundits are talking about football nations around the world, nobody mentions Iran. So if Iran goes to the World Cup under somebody's supervision and they don't do too well, how are you going to limit the entire performance to that one person called the coach? Now, I'll give you an example. Let me give you a very specific example. You know, a Brazilian coach called Big Phil, Luis Felipe Scolari. In 2002, and I had the privilege of running commentary at the World Cup, he was the coach of Brazil. Now, 1 month before their opening game, we had the lineup of the team. And I make this point because, quite often you find teams trading behind closed doors. They are hiding their tactics. They are hiding their players. They are hiding the starting team. Brazil did not hide it in 2002. Before the opening match, those of us going to run commentary had the starting lineup of the first 11. They came to 2002 Japan, Korea, and won the World Cup under Big Phil. Why did they win the World Cup? It wasn't because Luis Felipe Scolari was such an extraordinary tactician with super brain, and that is why they won the World Cup. Go and check the squad that won the World Cup of Brazil in 2002. They had Dida, who was imposed, who was around that time one of the best goalkeepers in the world. On the right side, they had Cafu, who was one of the best right back. They had Roberto Carlos. They had Dunga, who was the captain. They have Ronaldinho. They have Rivaldo. They have Ronaldo. I mean, this was an extraordinary squad. So it wasn't surprising at all that they won the World Cup. Now, fast forward. In 2014, when Brazil hosted the World Cup, and they were so desperate to replicate what they had done in 2002, they went and brought Big Phil back. Now, before the World Cup, I indicated, and I remember prophesying, that there was no way Brazil were going to win the World Cup, although they would do well, because they were on home soil. Why did I make that point? Neymar was their poster boy, their most inspirational player. who was playing for Barcelona at the time. But even at Barcelona, he was not starting in many of the games. And I said, look, if your captain is not even starting at his team and is leading you to the World Cup, there's a problem. I looked at their striking force. There was nothing to write home about. They hosted the World Cup under the same Luis Felipe Scolari who had won the World Cup for them in 2002 in great fashion. They were one-up, completely annihilated by Germany by 7-1 in the grand finale under the same coach. It was never about the tactics. Was it because it was a bad coach? It wasn't a bad coach. The materials had changed. That's the bottom line.
Not to cut you short, but yeah. The sacking of Otuadono and Shadanya relevant.
But I told you, and I've been on record, that I didn't think it made too much sense to me. I have made that point. Okay. And the reason I made that point was because, listen carefully, if we needed to sack Otuado, we should have sacked him when we failed to qualify for the AFCON. At that time, we kept pace with him, we retained him, he came back and qualified us to the World Cup. I'm one of the few Ghanaians who do not believe that it was such a wonderful idea to sack Otuado. And I was with the team in Germany and in Vienna. Look, we played against Austria, and I had a conversation with Otto. And I asked him all the questions that many Ghanaians had been asking. I said, why do you keep thinking with the team? Why do you play this man in this role? Why do you do ABC? And he explained that he believed these were friendly games and that we were preparing for the World Cup, which was the ultimate goal. So the friendly matches were preparatory grounds for the World Cup. He had invited a number of players and he needed to give everybody the opportunity to observe him. And that is why he played almost all of them in the game against Austria. Having observed them in the game against Germany, and somehow you be a witness. You remember I told you before the game against Germany in Stuttgart, I told you guys that we would not lose miserably as we did against Austria.
Yeah.
Now he had an idea of the team. He maintained some level of consistency. There weren't too many, how do you call it, alterations. We lost by 2-1.
You predicted correctly.
Yes, correctly.
Yeah.
And I indicated that it was an improvement over the Austrian game. So what would be the basis at that time? But I can understand. Not many people were so enthused about Otuado. So I can understand. But the point I'm making is the summer. I've heard the whole Ghana, everybody talking about coach. Only a coach that's not determine the outcome of it. I'm saying there are too many factors. Look at my own Asante Kotoko. Over the decade, check how many coaches have Asante Kotoko attacked. Because they always believe that the problem is the coach. The problem is not the coach with Asante Kotoko. The problem is that Kotoko's finances are not that strong. They are unable to retain their players over a period. Kotoko started the season. As soon as someone started doing well, he was sold. How do you expect a coach to do? What do you expect a coach to do? And look at Mamelodi Sundowns. Over the weekend, they played against Esperance, 1-1 goal to the. Check the goal scorer. It's a striker from Colombia. That is the depth of their pocket. The extent to which they're able to go out all over the world to put good material. Why wouldn't they win? It's not simply a matter of the coach. Now look at our black star. Our captain, who has been very loyal to the team, has been very consistent, one of the most committed and dedicated players over the years, Jordan. But check where he's playing. He's playing in the championship. And his team is even battling relegation. That is the captain. He's our captain.
Okay.
Look at the profile of our players. It's I don't want to disregard them. I mean, these are all brilliant players. But you and I know, truth be told, they are not playing at the topmost level in Europe. Only Antonio is at that level. The rest are doing their best. In fact, the reserve players of England are playing in top teams, playing more consistently than our regular players. So, look, a coach has been picked. His profile is not bad. He also has an idea about the African terrain.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have discussed his profile over and over. Everybody knows.
Yes, of course.
If Queiroz is not good enough for us, someone, and a coach, and I say, guy, now, you can find journalists, 11 number 18, no.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I agree with you. Yeah, some more. As if we're the SWAC president, Kwabena Yeboah, the writer, and the Chinko. Writer say, you say it was to say arguments never go on and on and on because Obinso the coaches factor in Semenyo's case say Semenyo under good manager Pep Guardiola or effective dancer or under Otuado.
But you know that no, come on, can I answer that question? I have heard that argument over and over and over. For example, the point has been made that Inaki always goes to Spain and scores for Athletic Bilbao. When it comes to Ghana, he's struggling. Semenyo is delivering at Manchester City because under a better coach. It's far from the truth.
Okay.
At Manchester City, that is a club side. A club side that is playing consistently, training morning, afternoon. That's a team. Because football is not an individual sport. It is a team effort. So you need a certain level of cohesion, understanding of the players of each other. For example, so let me continue with the Semenyo example. So if you go to Manchester City, which caliber of materials surround Semenyo? When he takes off, they know, Rodri knows where he's going, where he has to put the ball. So that is a team effort. It is surrounded by also quality material at Manchester City. The same cannot be said for the BlackStars. Somehow, what is that? Monsieur, after the Stuttgart game, Monsieur, the parents of Semenyo.
Okay.
And we had a lengthy conversation. Ni mami ni papa. And especially ni mami are quite outspoken. And you know, he's the manager. And she said, the game against Germany, in her opinion, is the only game Semenyo has played so well for us. And she explained the reason and said, our players are yet to understand his game. So when he takes off, they don't know when to release the ball and his takeoff timing and all that. So that is where a number of national teams lack. So if you, for example, if you go back to our national teams that were doing so well, like the 2010 World Cup, it is as a result of the fact that quite a number of them had been promoted from the under-20 side to the team. A number of them had played together over a very, very, very long period. We are very close to Samojan. He will tell you that anytime he took up, Sule Muntari knew where to put the ball. Anytime he took up, Semenyo knew where to put the ball.
Okay.
That is a team. And yet, let me give you the last example. Milovan Rajovic coached us in 2010 during the AFCON. Kosiapia was his assistant. A number of our regular players did not show up. If you remember 2010.
Yeah.
Jan was not there, Muntari was not there, Etienne was not there, quite a number of them. Kosiapia then brought a number of the under-20 boys to the team. I say Kosiapia because whoever doubts my assertion should ask himself whether Milovan Rajovic knew the under-20 boys who he picked. That was the handiwork of Kosiapia. We went to the AFCON because of the element of cohesion, elite player understanding each other. We got to the grand finale and lost narrowly to Egypt. Now listen, we went to the World Cup in 2010 with Milovan Rajovic. We had an excellent team, a team that had cohesion. Kevin Prince team was in top-notch shape. And I tell you what, one of the reasons we did so well in 2010 World Cup was Kevin Prince Boateng and Oliver in the post. Now look at the team that we had. Inkum was in shape, and John Pencil was in shape. Milovan Rajovic deployed them in different roles. It's one of the best periods of the day's career, the 2010 World Cup. Sule Muntari was consistently playing for AC Milan, but came there and was warming the bench. Steven Appiah joined the team, who was on the bench. I'm just saying this to let you know the quality also of our bench. We had a Samoan who was on top of his game. So we had a good team. We did well, got to the quarterfinal, one kick away from the semi-final. Now, I'm not disrespecting Milo, but I did not really, really credit him for all that happened in 2010. No, because I don't limit the team performance to only one person called the coach. Fast forward, 4 years later, Oliver Robert was brought back to Ghana. And I remember during the unveiling ceremony, the FA president said, as for this one, J. Macha Makwe, those of you who don't understand, guys, like, this one is not just let try your luck. You know, we took him to the AFCON because the materials were not the same. First round, we were kicked out, weren't we?
Yeah.
Same coach. So if it was just about tactics and systems, as some people would say, you know, he plays a 3-5-2 system. He plays a diamond system. Systems don't play football. Footballers play football. The quality of materials will always determine your outcome. So let's relax. This is a manager who has come. He will definitely know what it's about. He's seen it all. Okay. If you read his profile, he's seen it all. Okay. Nobody can underestimate his understanding of the game. Unfortunately, he also has an experience of the African terrain. But at the end of the day, let me repeat, he won't be the only one to determine whether we would progress deep in the competition or not.
Okay, Writer.
Yes, boss.
Finally, you say they are one-man supporter for Carlos Queiroz. Writer Queiroz. But finally, said the Okase players know about systems and managers near them. Looking at your materials near one, then I bet me a canfa papaine nejumo beno. Do you think say enough quality no?
Yeah, quality. I'm afraid these are heavy potential, brilliant footballers, but respectfully, what do you team compare Omo Ayekushiomo World Cup? It's not the same. But I listened to an interview of Carlos Queiroz, and he's already started analyzing our group. He says, look, England, in his opinion, commands better players than our players. And also no disrespect to anybody, because they are playing at the highest level for teams. Look at Hurricane. Although Semenyo is playing so well, if you want to be very objective, I think Hurricane is way ahead Semenyo at the moment. So they have better material. But the thing that the beauty of football is that you get into a tournament and you try and create surprises. So in direct answer to your question, football is full of surprises. It's full of illogicality. And my answer is that in 2006 at the World Cup, although we had good materials, in our group we were the lowest ranked because Italy, the Czech Republic were way ranked above us. But we went, we surprised everybody, we beat the Czech by 2-0, and we exited our group. So let's hope, let's be cautiously optimistic and hope that one of the surprises, for me, if we beat England, I would say it would be a norm. It will be one of the surprises of the World Cup. If we beat Croatia, it will be one of the surprises of the World Cup. But surprises abound in football. So let's hope, let's stay cautiously optimistic. Let's not raise our expectations too high and then limit all the blame on the coach. And so just before I go, I know your time is fast spent. When we went to the AFCON in Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, you remember we played against Zambia in the semi-final?
Yeah.
Klavi was the coach at the time, and I was closely associated with the team. We had a penalty against Zambia. Our regular taker, Asamoah, flagged the line. How was that supposed to be the fault of the coach?
Yeah.
How was that supposed to be the fault of the coach? So I'm saying that there are too many factors that influence the outcome of football. Unfortunately, the whole world appears to have reduced everything to coach, especially in Ghana, where some journalists believe they even know better than the coach. And I'm saying that the coaching area is one of the few professions in the world where onlookers, fans, journalists, even believe they know better than the coach. And I find it quite disturbing. You can express an opinion. That is the nature of football. We call it a beautiful game. Everybody has got an opinion. But express your opinion in a measured manner. Express your opinion with some respect. And then make it seem as though the coaches are so clueless They don't know what they're about. I'll give you an example. Kotoko believes Zito was the problem. Zito exited. The next game, Kotoko lost by 1 goal to Hyperfolk with 10 men. Has played with 10 men. Kotoko lost a game, 4-0. It's been a very, very, very long time Kotoko lost by 4-0. Zito is long gone. So when we do that, we miss all the other factors that consistently contribute to the outcome of match and just limit it to coaching. That is why Kotoko, for instance, have sacked coaches, and yet we keep progressing.
Right, yeah. Come on, so walk up na be chance ye papa nso afina obo me a hwedi e fence ya na wo de wo be Kotoko chama de umbabu Jeff Akwaba
Major so chairman.
Okay, yentio
enra news na Ghana phone na ehwe no me sure say for now obi answer kan and if any sports minister no name coach or the Ghana echo the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And the first time all this story by na 3 short man bia now more all list bia na ye kan wasem no. Me hwe obi a start ne age wise no me can say me nyini say sa na sitie but truly sa na sitie na coach naba. Now Queiroz by far based on ne CV and the credentials is the best manager Ghana high in so many years. Having coached bigger clubs and national teams, I can say what we are saying. Coach our coach World Cup for the 4th time, or the 2 countries and 3 countries now, but 4 World Cups. What we are saying. It means in terms of say open experienced coach, or the team echo World Cup, then Queiroz coach or experience in terms of the World Cup. Again, or a coach back one. What coaching clubs are hold. I mean, assistant coach to say Alex Ferguson. Or EPA trophies in be na utimi kwa no or your top manager in terms of ne pedigree ni CV daho. And so who say ni CV ni dia. Me sure say BlackStars ever since I appointed foreign coaches by why ne one obey 2 okuta CV I know dey pa. Now coach our coach Madrid here. Maybe sure say Ghana coach be fa coach be coach Madrid paying. Coach no coach Madrid and then at that time coach managing about 59 matches for Madrid. But mistake away Madrid de Pamono, se minister Mbakaya. That was when Valencia Belgian League, you know. Only D table na until say the last 5 Madrid games. Olusini na Emma Valencia be take over. Then eventually Madrid 84th league, you know. And so after the league, now some Madrid Fujano Quine. And your coach Bakwa manage big stars. Okochi Carlos Tevez, Okochi Cristiano Ronaldo, Okochi big names at Madrid at that point in time. And so say who are pointing say Ome Kochi. What's saying?
Pachi are more Madrid. Carlos Tevez were more Madrid.
Carlos Tevez.
Manchester as assistant. No, Tevez were, but Tevez never played for Real Madrid.
No, make up players or manager. Since the time we account. Oh, Madrid.
Yeah, but so the emphasis was on Madrid. Obo Madrid.
And I play better boy.
Jeff, yeah.
Me name them kind. Me say, or coach players be say, Ronaldo, De Lima, at Madrid. Or coach Zidane. Or coach Brazil ni the number 2 Carlos. Roberto Carlos. Yes, until we can Tevez no. Yeah, you know, imagine the ball fast. Or coach big stars. And so say on your opportunity no coach BlackStars now. Me feel say player bien who BlackStars is here ya ne pedigree Edru those players of manage our Madrid. And so and no and so Adeba Kwan or Adeba on board. But for me feel say still in terms of the age there now he's still not the right man for the job. Because a short contract for 4 months. Now per information no already around $90,000 as a manager on ne backroom staff about 4 they count on OBS Kasamai. And so eventually a month no near Kobe be $300,000 a month. Now me feel say or your manager back yes, in the on paper is best for the job. I mean, our AFCON qualifies, our AFCON finals, Egypt against Senegal. Sisi the penal mano. But she say Oman 4 months contract, you know. Now we are and I say do well mano improve contract. Now me feel say for some time now acquire BlackStars first no and normal ACC BlackStars no. See qualify round of 32 company. We've done well in the World Cup. And so see qualify from the group round of 32 Obenya improve contract na. No say the basic in terms of age there, if you say it was too much, a 73-year-old coach, me feel say a waste of money and waste of time because now me feel say you bet me at the get up a coach ni mfie e wo anim kakra and I say ni mfie ni okay na osa say e born modern. Now if you look at coach way the modern boy osa say as coach you know na the modern boy e was super but after no the paper form and so per coach who team no ade pia form na person e sorry coach or decline no and outside the bar na and no question me busa because obi a coach Manchester United as stand coach or coach Madrid or coach lot of class or coach Portuguese national team done and new coach be no we are 7 opportunity coach Portugal national team pedigree the coach and new coach be na be stand coach to Alex Ferguson or Manchester new coach be no beat coach Madrid and so all shots said na no man ejina so ye pa but we we no or the above form and me feel say nanka o say ke fa coach afina babru no woni mu or sorry or born home di mebre near the admin say no page team no once and for all sisi na coach Qatar o coach Iran o coach Oman no ni na no or the above form and the akwafa no and so me say coach no ko a very very happy man because coach Otifia is what declare to what declare out Otifia no our man $90,000 a month no or say hallelujah na niaje because when the CA or professor coach about the Kano and it's not Tifinti Nisivni there by far is the best Ghana appointee as a BlackStars coach since time immemorial but CA and money one above from done BlackStars team we know coach you know yes baba we have to throw the support to him not team the SRI the coach to be him but our normal also tackle about 5 or 6 issues are BlackStars ama say Roman Queiroz he need to tackle that no solve the once and for all near between Peja again Adiba Kwa also Peja pa the confidence level of the BlackStars say team benya confident about winning say team winning matches upon matches when you're confident in playing any other opponent bia now Ghana lack confidence pa the last 5 games Ghana both this year as BlackStars they lose 4 at Twaso we need just 1 into confidence and cancer compa yeah they both matches no e bi ho and say obit me line up Kotoko against BlackStars e be na Kotoko as a BlackStar because omuni confidence in winning games and so also impose confidence in this current BlackStar team again also fixing the basis we feel say at net time also okofa play be ba he needs to still stick with the same players na auto use no implement the formation in the ideologies in those players because he have only one opportunity to play before we name the official squad against Wolves or name or bossa friend game we are Wolves or Boria and Sana what me and the money squad and so me feel say what me and Fabe in Fretrima on stick to the players no more no on make sure say obey no me the formation of Pepper 4-1-4-1 and so also new players obetim that say adwuma no especially up front there only big issue because Semenyo ewo ho Inaki Williams e fitting the formation obo but in the midfield any defense no 4-1-4-1 no when the bit said manamano ho no so sticking no to me ho adwuma ye again BlackStars continue too many goals of late and no my BlackStars confidence in Emma and me feel say the biggest issue pa me continue more goals no midfield. Now, Thomas Partey Pempo is part of the team. Kwasi Sibo is part of the team. Elijah Wusu, Suleiman Ibrahim, Umuna midfielders. They say formation bang, players bang, and obey you so midfield because once or midfield here weak, you know, with defense they will be exposed. Who goalkeeper, you know, it won't mean save all the balls I quarter so and so also tackle midfield near when no party or more 15. Sebo and answer or my party. Because you know, or better than no pay youth for exuberant players beer omo the zeal to work and work very hard and so also tackle the mifuni pa and no need the basic and yes still yentimi enko anim into on tackle ne hu ha obetimi akoso aboa BlackStars again now your best player Antoine Semenyo, he's bringing in goals from Europe but BlackStars and Koye, one, he needs confidence. Two, I will say you better the team around him because Kudus might not go to the World Cup. And it's a Kudus and Kobia. Kudus and the number 10. Oh, Crabo. Kudus have 13 goals so far. And so, Messi Kudus or BlackStars it means all Messi are there. So, when they made the number 10 role, no CCA, I have made a lot of support up front. And so, the absence of Kudus, who is he the right man to fix the job for Ghana BlackStars? Antoine Semenyo, Ebo City, you see about the right side. Oba, either right, left, center, Nina Ohuso. Me feel say also bury team na run Semenyo in the absence of Kudus. Enti Kwabena Yeboah so aye adwuma I'm let me kuye de amaye. Enti we hear a lot of things also ye na anuanim ya. We hear the statement na. O say Oba for mission. Mission any one day ye complete mission. Mission a long term ade. And so obi onu hu say obeye adwuma ni ye na that be onya opportunity na long term contract na because of the statement doka say mission Oba for mission. And so Queiroz media he is still not the man for me. But the other man no you will still support him. The CV by far is the best.
Also one the man for you.
No.
By CV
yes, by far.
Into a DNA man in the man for you because of the age and as a day.
Age one. And the declining stage now what do no. Overform.
Or start at no young
yes.
Teams papa ne fan.
Yeah.
I say teams are all from the fan.
Of course madam bono.
But say just 2021 year or the Egypt team nenya bad. Ukudi second half.
2021 you were 26 5 years down the lane. Yemua.
Okay.
Yemua.
And there's a Slevan Village the Nkabe Bono. Croatia ni go nanke maybe now West Ham for penabono. No 2 years ni wonye adwuma.
Yeah.
Ono se nrech ni di beto.
Ni di beto ja.
Nkabe Bono.
Oh yeah. Say
we kra na wo ka say dey na village dey. Enti wan na nkape no.
Oh, me pay 40-50-year-old coach or 55.
That me catch was uncle for na ho den. So 50-44 no. One national team experience now open unya. One national team experience no. Umo 60, 55, 56, 70. Upa check it.
Okay.
Regrag you say Jinasu based on the Oyema Morocco Obefano.
Yeah.
But aside that, it's also experience with national team for 15 years. Unya on.
Oh yeah. Unya 15 years. Yeah.
It is uncle for no me do say no.
Ukakrebi, but
even Mourinho national team experience no or that form.
Yeah, so on the club.
Why na now so omra.
Oh, have you the sinampe have you?
Have you no yeah juma.
Yeah.
Position na e wo no. Obia ni wa okura national team a na e betimi afa no. Because all buy nipa out of contract.
Yeah.
It's not a very na there me catch us in the situation with Saudi no yen checking your availability because now or you bent on living and a Saudi for years no the answer your tightest of group walk up in the diagram qualify until we should manage and keep this guy and yes I lose and so be the same problem.
Yeah.
Thompson fit na no more pen on also a contract.
Yeah.
Why be Paulo Bento na only adwuma no adwuma
there is only adwuma
Santos nso ni adwuma ma men ka story e koso Portugal sisi anje.
Okay.
Fernando Santos Portugal for sake no in social security tax social security nkwano could you 700,000 euros okay the total tax from social security omatua ewo ne sake no ai so mo man compensation o manye ene ne nkrofo bi o mu di ne wura mu man ko sign contract no amount to 3.3 million euros and a Portugal atua this our coach no na o kwa kofa ni mprempren de na ba o ba be 4 months na ma ono on sign 4 months sankrofo no omunim adweno mo de nam 4 months on sign so after World Cup ne mawie onye obeba be sign 2-3 years with you o sake no after World Cup na you have to pay him to say this is what Portugal are dealing with Etimisro mami bi. Usi Queiroz 73 no high. So utimi mame coach bi. Then we will talk about our coaching.
Ose 73 na eka wasem no. Don.
And will be
4 months.
I was 40, 45, 50 na. Usi see a ebenyano. I will bow with our national team experience.
4 months. After 4 months. Obesa for coach.
What the duration show? Release never out. No, there's nothing like duration.
Yes, but headline it can be
I can't say.
I say coach no ebe lead Ghana to the FIFA World Cup. And for the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, but go and check. Queiroz led Portugal to World Cup. Queiroz led Iran to the Qatar 2022 World Cup. So led doesn't mean say just for that short period. Led ni say only the World Cup. Subsequently the NSC. And when we communicate, we shouldn't confuse people. Say almost say just after the World Cup. The almost trouble be bien why stipulated sadeno. Bibian we just after the World Cup. Assembly can wahano. And common I didn't going forward never be asem.
Yeah.
And here can ye.
Henry Asante granted interview to Asempa FM and or confirm say from now till the end of the World Cup. So as the communications director of the F, you know, and we share communicate now F in the buyer or man share the duration. I mean the span our coach in the buyer Jumano. But I pay further clarification. No, I'm here who said done from now till the end of the World Cup. And here some communication director another so
move on.
Yeah.
It's Jeff. The emphasis. Maybe the emphasis was that Obia Okra national team one on mark for such short term. Obi is serious. We coach Okra national team because job security is at stake. Obi was 4 years, 3-year contract. Or AFCON 2027 to qualify Mali. Or contract was me be fana be matrama kwe for 3 months. Now sakena or lusu Mali ejumano. Because what they make us to know bienwa or under proper contract. O ye jumo kra national team obeba. E dina na ote Belic, ote Fernando Santos, obetu we obetu sanko for working low on na betini din. Go bio kra team bio coach bienwa no are ready so obeba. But per omo team nso de Jeff I beg to differ this man who experience bia adwuma no nso no obetimi aye no wo so pe omo age wo fom omo age wo fom no ebi wai mami bi still wontimi mami bi o why regard you no experience aye per in national team no only experience near just Morocco. Omo criteria no mo de by experience no mo open na some 15 years or some 10 years experience.
So we can na sentence coach here. Na sentence
Mamene the right time to drink. Mamene enye bibi ehu na Jeff. Bibi ehu ni say. Hello the right time. And the ko fa from granted because from grant na dey call final in Equatorial Guinea. It's all bibi ehu a and the ko fa grant.
But what coaching
be after dey call South Africa 2013 semi-finals. And this is a BBA who they are tankofo we nyina aye business no in terms of national team.
Good. Yes, good. Yes.
So they are okay.
And when you say next is coach no on form nya DBA hu when you put coach Portugal 1 of 16 or coach
Iran
ni na group stage Qatar ni na group stages
coaches UAE
ni na group stages Colombia but Morocco ni wako semi final in the World Cup. Into based on no campuno, obetwinde or no better we work up on them. Nikas will be an enemy, Nikas will be like a different for me issue. Unim coach our coach Portugal, a coach as some coach for Manchester United, a coach Iran, a coach Colombia, a coach Egypt about finance in the AFCON. When you coach on a silver platter, coach your Tifio Nyejuma, no man 4 months. Do trust him. Any issue.
Okay, that's it. Kevin, I mean to you.
Well done, I think that first of all, and as Auntie Chum come we cry what did nature said. Oyoma Omudi Omunya Nanka Carlos Queiroz never be edgeman. There is a voice I don't know camera one can be said. It will go Busa was spokesperson for the association say coach is saying obejo as someone choba na mama busano, which me trimuno minim say na Henry Wolf. Based on that,
send the boy for Obehu. And all can a grown swab behu. Or can I say?
None of Wolf. Savoy is in America say, me Chaman for Sutia.
I don't want Oman and Casaso more friend in a deal.
Oh, he was away. Interview. Anna, I think that as a pano casa. But Obi Busau say, Coach Regis and I say, Montreal Busam.
No, and as some penny in Zukanse.
Oh, don't honestly, and is a so we are spokesperson for. If no one else who submit me a yano.
And no, as Osaka say.
Oh, don't area, I was not ready to answer.
Turn a down for no. Me say, me won't cancer mention.
Yes, because of people who knew be an interview. No, Busao say, one train, coach number Uquada, number Busan.
Yes, your press conference be a Busan.
But no,
yes, Busan or Becca.
I say, I say, Mona Mosamope, Yakofana Bremo. Don't writer and come on, no person writer. Writer, one person, I wait in that Nafabo, on Joviana Soda, wrote to Tiano Paya. It was a Ghana for Nani and Pena, or no quite writer in open. Me just shows a writer, they to me near Blaster Equi. Now we okay with the way the things were going. You're not starting no to do and yeah.
Uncle, so you're okay, but just and you're always the coach. It's all your materials.
I agree. And you're always. But there are exceptional cases. Exceptional cases in the sense, your materials in your change to me, Jenny. Your materials in your change to me, Sudan. So it is not about.
Let's say your better material.
I'm telling you, compared to Omo,
they find it difficult.
If you are being beaten by Germany, then I will say, okay, you need materials a bit me compete with Spain, but Niger, and I do the stage, you need Niger, Bona, Yatika, coach it to me, Kako Park, so as a Yaba don't go tournament, Obiati Coco Park. So that is the state a coach in the year. And see, baby, I journey there, media said your year experience, and it's over. See the World Cup on eka. No have a performance. Na that screens here. I would say and your papa sir. But again, if you are going to the World Cup, now your coach is a man for parody. Now your team no carry screens in the anymore. I would say so to 2 because a yansa. Baba wabano. A bad thing. Based on baby away jumano. And quite fast in the bino. Said this FAW controlling. And until I'm say Henry interview no, uti the casa walker all sounded that way. Because Queiroz, why you Real Madrid? What if Fiorentina prayers when I Manchester United? And Tinya to Kumo. Hey, Asante Chumo, and never control you. Say a 4 months, near Bako tournament, Quanadron. I'm even him saying to me, Kwaji. By your performance, no, I be the same crying. The Mama Ghana funny, that's why it is better. Dan say, Yabako, near Mubibia. After 4 months, or just 4 months. Now, yes, maybe a gambling, and yes, or gamble, yes, a gamble. I far 90,000 I had to say, don't. I don't know who Chairman Bosomeno. Or bet me demand more than that. Because that's another time. There will be other national teams who will also come in. Bebe na beba. You bring your countries for far. Also, Pepe beyond Bepe, Carlos Queiroz. And you're good for, good for, honestly, so a win-win situation. Would you be going to command a contract more than anything apart from the 4 months? You know, may I mean, not mention long term. Then are the buying. I was saying, sir, now me per coach about short term, near share the performance. No, say I idea about why, and I'm why. So now that's what we've gone in for, and I believe some moving forward. Said you, why UTM command course now? What shall I see profile some of our players on him? Some a lot of them are above. Now you go down and you will sit down and see. The system the last team he coached Oman near Kano, he took them from 2024 to 2026. And qualify. They weren't able to qualify. In terms of the defensive shape, no, or you're good one thing, let's see what will happen. But I'm happy as Ghana, sir, Yafa coach, at least or a lot of experience, 1 or 2 be done. A bet me about one thing. You're anymore and you're my don't bet you about but now me was done. And they are Queiroz in the backroom staff kakabeba. be 2-3 be di na chiaba 5 and 18 na chine na ba ye jo mama kan yin asa o no plus this year 2019 so 12 it is say abekwa 24 up until say akwa 18 to 23 and I don't ebe by now don't paint no mama kese bi ko ese je bi kwai now you had to be the shema yenhwe because some more bebrebe no ye hu so man fa hwea meka na start him no ye je to ado kwan amama kan gusu to all ba no yenhwe 4 months don ebia eni so na be so a but obetimi am make it different in a 4 months na be a long term contractor what you am be adwuma no obekai quote we don't know kai amani they played a semi final Egypt and Senegal that game they don't now is suspended Yabusa say on dugout one or say wherever he find himself or Jesus adwuma kese na don't worry media mean say minigidi onimu I will say where he's coming from and the experience they crown no compared to the edge of the quality I think they upgrade aba let's hope and pray say adwuma no ba be no onye influence by anything na mom obeti ya adwuma Ghana for be say ye call tournament no ye ntimi anu a kire kra there is hope away any man don betimi aboa the senior na starting
they ma be 3 bi na me na ngwe da ye be aka no
yeah don quick one on coach Carlos Queiroz Ghana yetimi appointing no we papa ne track record since the 80s now coach the Portugal under 20 any ade eba we teams wa coach any players afan in some the sort of dressing rooms papa na manager I'm trying to believe say or a coach onim de was oye and or a coach me can say onim how say yes team no I was so because over the years no aduma awaye to the extent say even Africa crown no Chad na wa okay 2021 or leading Egypt for echo AFCON final losing on penalties to Senegal it means onim your terrain no and or your coach me did say a bus on adapted to Ghana said hey nyoma me not sure say e be anything because or your traveler we took kwanya into a far culture bebre mu nti me not sure say Ghana Obano e be new thing be e de amano and in terms of abia leadership say upe coach obeti mama dressing room I din no matter ego our dressing room obeti manager don me did say or you one of the coaches because players are on your master dressing room no baby now was repeat guys see and all things being equal I believe say Mr. Kwabena Yeboah and Sembia all can no fine coach ebetimi at the formula ba and the tactics about bia but it is up to the players say on the foot of play no on betimi I execute sa plan na coach no e de abano but meaning to me any coach en film kura because coach no and a better how game no ye ko on the bench already the opponent na ye na what saying how you be see akwakusia opponent no so I believe say for now coaches are Ghana ya fa nyina no because we are one of the top coaches are Ghana fa so all things being equal you benya your players are omoye ready say they are dying for Ghana you benya executives are obia ye de o say oye all hands on deck obia de o say oya don ye call World Cup no na anye ye kra me gidi say ye betimi ama performance Ghana for any betimi age ho don sama yeah
well ama ko mesa ba ho ma men na ni nso enwie coach ya ye kana sem ye mo kan CV kra ni sedem di kan bia na wa adwen ankoso a ye ka coaches a World Cup ma kododo pa na o ka ho o mu ye be nipa be miensa pe teacher say why ade wa bobre ye pa Carlos Alberto Pereira ono wakobi pa na Bora Milutonovic ono so ye Serbian coach na ono Carlos Queiroz enti World Cup no wa goro ho papa wa kododo pa eti ho ansem enti ni CV ni de modu yes nani ma some 5 minutes bi na
yeah don't I believe say nkomona akoso nyina no na ehwe anim say Ghana for be appoint a new manager and we shortlist na babontin from last week e banyina na inim say dan ya e benya coach ya ni performance ni be upgrade like obe more upgrade than coach of Otuado and then in ehwe anim say benya coach papa and performance ni chen Otuado and when I write the nkomo no or can about CV and I agree with him say in terms of CV there yeah sure say yenya coach bi a all ban na the CV ne drew Queiroz. Pardon, in utie ni profile ni nyina or the team you qualified to the World Cup or the we are qualified to the World Cup or the we are qualified to the World Cup. Pardon, at this stage Ghana ye ko fa no yen ka se mfa ne mo qualifies but rather onkobo tournament emfamaye. So me question nyina has to do with the main tournament na kwa akobo no. The performance World Cup and say about qualifiers there South Africa, Portugal, Iran and the likes or that history the teams are qualified. But at the main tournament Ghana for to see a stage and you say you qualify for World Cup but rather you go World Cup and based on the stats the main tournament don't basement you can crunch on but make a case say or minor do moko World Cup any football nation. Right, I can and I agree with him because untimin can't me say Iran Echo World Cup. Na Iran at the group with England there. Oba catch him say Iran ever qualify. No, Iran ain't impo any England for more. The last time Iran call World Cup, Iran Echo World Cup I mean England man is 6-2 at the World Cup. Qatar. So Iran Echo World Cup say based on quality Iran for Kurano omuntimi kwari bebre World Cup nim and obi atase but nyina mu no and start wenya at the World Cup Portugal there or the 1 of 16 and Spain for sure by go to 0 and eventually Spain team no show mo no omnom kwaje World Cup no South Africa but World Cup performance ni nyina no it is person team no or dey kon team also nyina don me feel say the modern World Cup ne there and convince me sir and again World Cup in here kono and again for edine ko so onko perform World Cup no so eno na ma me doubt about the World Cup na all kono but again o hwa ni CV and o hwa the wetima ya in coaching na untimi nka me say onye right man for the job no because I mean even though or the can but you coaches here don't say Carlo Ancelotti now what to the stage and everything from po pamono but Monday for fano omo fano na nei was that peja I was out England coach any one way traffic say oko top but down we are apem no obetimi ko down but onya team ba ko gina so esa the peja no e de kosoro me feel say based on Ghana for ya how ba ko pa na nsie famu pa no the way consider goals and coach we no we defensive oriented we know how or say the team how was he I mean or making sure say the defensive a bit solid or bano or she says had in Ghana for and your press go even though you need quality be brace but I believe say performance press ni be then a dino yenya a good manager or bet ma adi pro the system ni ya do me feel say beboa ade how many say team na ye de ko World Cup no obi a on sure mo obet ma sure mo the last game be ball on the 2nd of June honorable and no and a bit who say the coach and the team is ready I mean for the World Cup and no kwano though won't mean fan kwa assessing sa but so believe say based on coaches no me available no don't won't mean ko abeyi Queiroz film I mean on one coach me feel so no available and let's support no because our experience in your coach on bar 2 months to tournament to say avant grants or about 2 months to tournament Equatorial Guinea in 2015 or could do finals you watching the war you never turn a you make sure say players near one don't modern body page
okay
na intimo Ghana don't